That was a good one, baby. That was a good one. Sometimes, I mean, I think I gave the Ethereum trade and the Solana trade to Banter as well from the bottom.
You did.
So, I mean, I can't. I don't know. Maybe I gotta talk to Alex and get paid more. No, I'm joking. Oh no, I give my money to OC. I donate it to OC. So, what do we have here? Bitcoin, baby, rolling over. So I've taken two trades today. I actually took three, but it was a joke trade. I got stopped out as a joke. There was a lady. I couldn't say her name in the stream. Um, I still can't remember how to say her name. It's Shematrice. Shematrice. Anyways, I can't say her name, so I took a long trade because she said to go long. I got stopped out. But then we actually took a real trade. And boom, we took this one here. I shared it in the chat, and then I am along from here. Breakout, retest, continuation. Okay, V-shaped recovery, sweeping the lows. Okay, and continue. I'm still in this trade. I'm 75% out. I've guaranteed myself $480 so far. Looking to come up to 88. Like OC said, we are approaching perfect rejection level. Okay, so when looking at this, we gotta be prepared. I can show you how I got into those trades. You guys probably are interested. If you came on the live stream, you would have known how to get into this one. Okay, and this one was pretty easy. So what happens here is you get order blocks. Now, if you don't know how to use order blocks, I suggest you turn on your order blocks here. They will populate price action. So you can go, let's go and use our rewind tool. It should work in here. Boop. Okay, and we're on a short-term time frame. So we have a little order block in here. You can see all this in here, right? So typically, I'm looking for the order block retest area. Okay, and I'm marking these along the way. And I'm looking for price to come back into them and continue out of them, right? So I'll put because I'm looking for continuation trades, right? So I'll be taking it here, right? I know I have a volume level, my own volume level here, right? I put my stop loss above the high here, and I look to take this down to our bounce level. So I understand where I would be, we're in a downtrend, right? We're rolling over from the tops here, rolling over. So downtrend, remember I told you market structure, turn on your market structure. That'll help you identify the trend, okay? So you can see here, breaking structure to the downside, breaking structure to the downside. Okay. So you can see the candles changing color in here. And then you see the retest continuation. Now because I did top down analysis, I understand that this is where I'm looking for my bounce. Okay. We have the low, this line here. This is the low. Look at the beautiful sweep. Okay. We're looking for the sweep of the low and the bounce out. Or we're looking for the golden pocket special pink box. We always love a pink box, right? So we always got to keep our eyes peeled on the pink box. Now it comes back down and it taps that box. I take profits along the way and we all make money. Hip, hip, hooray, right? That is how it goes. So see, it comes down in here. See the order block populate? Boom. Same, same kind of deal, right? So you come down, you hit that. Happy days. So just a way to get on trend, right? So comes back into the order blocks. You put your stop loss above the highs here. Now, why didn't this one work? Okay, we got to answer that as well, right? Because this is the same thing. We have an order block in here. If I get rid of this one here, here's our little order block. So you have your little order block right here. You come down, you bounce up, you continue down. But the thing is you have to understand where your buy level is. So you're getting really close to here. Okay. You don't want to be taking this trade. You don't want like a hobbit trade, right? You'd like to take a trade that can go, right? A trade that can have some breathing room to the downside, right? So and there was multiple chances to get in this. I teach this to you guys quite often. So you look for as we're breaking down, so we have the mitigation of the low, that's where we change structure first, right? So we change structure right here. right? So as soon as you change structure, you look for the retest. Where's the retest? The retest is previous lows. Right here, look at that. Also, your predictive ranges gives it to you. Okay, so that's your short right there. Look at this low here. Okay, that's your short right there. Okay, that's your short right there. So you have this whole morning, you've had multiple. You could even pick this one apart right here. You guys see it? I know you guys see it. Okay, so there's all these opportunities to jump on the trend and manage your risk, right? So you're going to go, entry, stop loss above the high here, right? Entry here, stop loss probably above the middle of the range here. You can use your predictive ranges too, right? Stop loss above here, looking for continuation and understanding that we're rolling over in a downtrend and this is my target because Alex though says look for the bounce at the pink box. The pink box is the super duper box that I want to trade in, okay? Then we come down to the pink box. Okay, so these are all good things. Now, what are we looking for? A bounce. Okay, you can, if you're absolutely super degenerate, take the long out of here. You don't have to. You buy the bullish candle. Okay, so more risky, but you could buy this candle here. You spring down, you bounce back up, you get a bullish engulfing candle here. You can buy that candle, stop loss below the low. That's a very cheap trade. A lot more risky. This happened really fast. So I didn't catch this. I was ending my live stream here. However, I knew we tapped our little pink box right here. I knew we mitigated the low way over there, right? This is why we do top-down analysis. And then guess what we do? You want me to show you guys again why I took the trade from here? Why did we take the trade from here, OC?
The trade from there because of the order block. Breakout retest.
Stop loss below the order block. Same exact trade in the opposite direction, okay? Same exact trade. So easy, right? And I'm getting paid, okay? The same exact trade, right? The same exact trade. So simple. Easy risk management. Okay, stop loss just goes below the wick. So, like if you took this one in here, if you took this order block here, right, your stop loss would have to go above the wick. Okay, obviously overextended, right? So, a lot different of a trade, right? So, that's the one. That's the one. And that's the one I'm in right now. I'm looking for a retest, possibly going to add to my trade and look to take it higher. But for now, we're very overextended V-shaped recovery. You typically are going to look for this area to come back to for a potential bounce. Why? Because this is where we have the most unsustainable price action right now, in my opinion. So you have VWAP in here. You have this stopping zone here. You have higher lows and continuation, but order block in here, right? So you're looking generally in here for a continuation trade onwards and upwards. This has been up only, so you can pull a fib as well. Swing low to swing high, 382s in here. Okay. If you come back down, yes, you can look here. Okay, it's still very much on the table. But I would be more inclined to be looking in this order block here and this area right here, 382, for a potential bounce and continuation if we get the right stuff in this area. Always if this then that, right? Always prepared, always looking for that trade and that continuation. But two very easy trades to get into today, and just following trend, right? We break structure to the upside here, right? We're looking for a continuation trade, okay? And that's all. Now, if we're looking at what to expect from Bitcoin, it's a whole different story. So the thing that has allowed me to make money the past couple of days is treating this like a range. Now, OC and I have told you guys 100 times that this is a range, but if you don't know how to treat a range can be descending. So if you have a regression tool in here, you can see that we have this sort of descending range, just the same as what we had in here. The exact same, actually, right? We had this beautiful range. The same thing, range bound, cha 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 cha. It's the same thing, bigger time frame, okay? Buy low, sell high, right? Sounds easy, but it's not. Um, so that's what's really saved my bacon is treating this thing like a range. Buying low, selling high, premium discount levels, right? Allowing myself to look at this. Beautiful double bottom, right? Beautiful double bottom, sweep of the low, grabbing the liquidity in here, firing to the moon. We had almost an identical day as yesterday, guys. Look at this. Like, if I took this, it's a smaller scale, okay? We had double top, dump, and pump, okay? It's kind of crazy. Are they just trying to F with us? But pretty crazy, right? I mean, I could copy this exact day and we can paste it over here. We've had it just faster. Okay? There it is. It's the exact same thing. It's crazy. But that's how it behaves, right? So what are we looking for up here? Just like OC said, we're looking for shorts. Shorts. I'm more interested in coming up to the top of the range though because of the liquidity. However, when we move this fast up, I would very much like a retested continuation. So big wick up here, big wick energy, right? So can we go like this? We'll see. Target being around 88,000. Well, these highs, right? We want to take these highs. So we're looking generally up in here. Now, if we break out of this, our target will be up around 90,000, just so that you are aware. So if we break out of this beautiful flag that we are in, right? I love me a flag, bro. I'm a flag trader, but no. We're looking to come up into here, okay? Very simply. However, if we are looking at this, we have a shit ton, in my opinion, a shit ton of liquidity to come and get in here. Okay, this is my concern. If we are going to revisit this lower level in here, okay, there is, if you pull a volume, fixed range volume profile tool, and you just look at where all the volume is, it's right here. Look at that. Okay, so if we lose here, we come and revisit that high. Big support level now, okay? So can we come down there? Look, it's on my chart. Already waiting for you guys, okay? 84,400. That doesn't mean we can't like dip below that, but that's what I would be looking for if we lose this range and we start closing below these lows, okay? So yes, we have our golden pocket bounce level that we are looking for. We could still come in and bounce off of that because this is still a downwards channel, right? But if we lose this, break down, retest, we're looking here. Okay, so you guys are aware. So be prepared for anything. Right now, crazy volatile, right? Everything's looking for April 2nd. We got tariffs on the way. We had a dump yesterday on the SPY because of the tariffs, right? We have a little bit of a recovery here. The NASDAQ, look at the NASDAQ, absolute dog shit as well. Bull div, balloon dog kind of deal here. Trying to break out and flag out, right? The dollar rolling over, which is good, but expect pretty choppy volatility and make sure that you're using good risk management. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now, and hopefully that helps you guys. What are you looking at, OC? A little bit of the
I'm looking.
same.
Kind of.
Are you looking
Yeah,
for a
actually.
long? You feeling the FOMO?
No, not really. Not today. Not today.
That's good.
Yeah, man. Oh, today I went to your setup. Sorry, your morning show, and I tried to give you the FOMO, but it did not work. And I'm glad. I'm glad. So, other than that, I actually kind of like a release me of today's FOMO. I think that is a little bit therapeutic. Now I understand why you do it. Yeah, just kidding. But I'm looking at a couple of things. Let's get started by sharing and uncovering one of the greatest mysteries of trading, guys. If you are a trader and you are serious about trading, let me share first my screen. Let me know when you are ready watching this. All right, let me know when you guys can see my screen. I think you'll be able to. All right, so if you're serious about trading, you'll see that none of us use headphones, right? Why is that? That is because when you use headphones, your head gets freakishly destroyed. Also, your capability of thinking. No, just kidding about thinking, but man, what a headphones shape head, my friends. Avoid that. All right, going to a serious thing here. Let's take a look at what they wear headphones, man. They wear headphones like for real. These guys shave their heads. Yeah, and this is called the influencer dent. They shaved their head, and because they wear too much headphones, that's how they're
know?
what?
Don't look.
Don't look, dude. You use earbuds just like I do.
Oh man.
Oh, into more serious things. Let's go into trading here. I thought my hair loss was due to marriage. I don't know. I've heard that before, so maybe there's something to it. So let's start using our crypto bubbles. I want to show you how I use them. So basically, when I look at crypto bubbles, I want to pop them, right? This is how I use them. I use them as a counter indicator. I know Alex has his own style, even in TradingView app. Maybe he can show us a little bit on it afterwards. But at this point, let's take a look at what we got. Look at that, big bubbles, right? Rather, I mean, I don't care the color. I only care about their being big, right? Big balls. So big bubbles. So PI or pi, there's big one here. By the way, I'm also gonna handpick a couple of those because I like Jupiter. I like Jasmine. Which other one? CRO, Kronos, and maybe Bear, right? So those are the big ones, or CRV, or a couple of big ones that I might be able to burst, right? Just from the look of this, I think I could maybe start bursting this red one. What does I mean with bursting it? Well, then I know it's highly bearish, so I'm gonna be trying to long it. I have not seen any TA so far, right? But this is how I use it. And I will be quick to change my mind if then my TA tells me otherwise. But at this point, this is what's telling me that it's moving, right? The big shape. By the way, this is on monthly. I just noticed that it's on monthly. I usually take a look at weekly. So let's take a look at weekly in this change a little bit. Look at that bear, high, CRV, and FORM. All right. So whatever this coin is, it's the first time I see it. Can I trade it? Yes, I can trade it. I got BitGet and Binance from all of those. All right, perfect. So let's stay on monthly just for the sake of this argument or for the sake for this class. And let's take a look at pi here. So let's bring up pi. I'm going to be going to my best area or my best time frame, and I'm just going to be assessing what I see. Look at that going downwards. That is to be expected, right? Another thing that I see, it is how much air do I have between my dynamic reactor and my current price action. The next thing that I see, it is do I have bottoming structure? Maybe. Look at that. I have a bullish divergence. I have something that start looking like a higher low. Still nothing for sure. Let's zoom in and see chunky candles. That's gonna be the name of my new show, Chunky Candles.
Chunky candles. Let's
Chunky
go.
Candles. The Chinese versions of candles, the influencer. All right. So there we go. Or the Mexican knockoff of candles. There we go. So we do have a breakout retest, right? Is this enough for me to long it? Not just yet, especially since we just realized that we were on monthly. All right. I want to see a little bit more market structure, but so far, I think I got it into a good position. Why? Because I'm having a breakout retest. The next thing that I want to see, it is my oscillator breaking through, right? I don't care if I'm slightly afterwards or late into this entry because I'm not aiming to risk my money. So let's take a look at, for example, something around here at the time of breakout, right? At the time of breakout was this one here. Maybe I can jump in here and then trail it or long it until my next resistance, all right? So what then next? Well, then I know I'm bearish. I know I'm going to dynamic reactor. Well, then I can start looking for a bearish movement here. The same thing I'm going to be doing here, right? At this point, first, I want to see a breakthrough. Maybe breakout. Maybe we're going to be having a couple of those. And then I'm going to be trying to long it at the bottom if I can, right? To have as cheap as possible of a stop loss, all right? This is not a given entry, guys. Don't go ahead and just copy this entry because this is just a perspective entry here. So basically, I'm just giving perspective what I want to try to do, all right? So if I see this and then breaking through the zero line, I'm going to be trying to long it here and then aiming to the next resistance, which is big, huge disparity, basically retail fighting zones, right? What can I expect out of retail fighting zones? Ranges, all right? So I'm going to be longing it till here and then see how that range develops. If it breaks downwards, well, then I go back for a long position. But then if I start making some bullish flag or something like that, I'll consider a sweep of the lows and then breakout, retest my next entry, and off we go to money flow POC. All right. If not, if I just see double tops, if I see going back below the zero line, I'll short it from here as we start losing the ranging zone, and I range it or I short it till we have the retail ranging zone, right? As you can see, this is telling me what is willing to move, right? Let's go to the next one. It is CRO, right? Let's take a look at what the CRO tells me here. Remember, since CRO is green, I'm at first glance just looking to short it, but I'll see what the TA tells me, right? Let's go to CRO and look at that. Seems like we have a macro bullish flag, something like this. There we go. And something like that. Right? Am I sure that this is going to be playing out? Not just yet. What am I in first instance looking to do? To short it. But so far, this doesn't look like shorting scenario. Instead, it looks like a possible re-entry for a long. What am I going to be looking for? Well, then again, let's zoom out and let's see what my indicators tells me. Right now, I am on ranging zones. Right here is smart money entry, and I'm in the red, so basically bearish. I need to give it time to see bounce or breakthrough. I think we're gonna have a breakthrough. All right. But since I am still very close to this dynamic reactor and this trend line, I think within one candle, look at those candles, guys, right? Look at those candles. I think within one candle, I can make it all the way to my support. So with that, sorry, I think I'm starting to get sick. So would I be? Yeah, not sure. I'll try to take vitamins or something like that. So would I maybe try to short this if this can play it out with one more candle? No, I would not. Too dangerous for me. Too dangerous. So I'd rather wait for it to play it out and do either breakout retest my entry and off I go to the next resistance, or breakout entry, right? And off I go to the upside. I still need to be aware of this area of resistance because previous reports becomes new resistance, all right? So just a quick setup in here. I'm still very, very bullish. Look at my prime score, right? That's why I'm not going to be shorting it. Let's go for one more, and then I pass it over to you. Jasmine, man, Jasmine. Looking like FETH, but holding the base. So look at, I mean, even Jupiter, man. Jupiter is playing out better than FETH. All right, we're losing the zero line, but we're not losing the support. That speaks better. That speaks well about the strength that we are holding on Jupiter. Are we bullish? No, no, no. Of course not. We are bearish. Why? Because we're below dynamic reactor, right? But I still look at an inverted goose head. What does that inverted goose head tells me? Further movement to the downside, right? Before I have a retracement and then a big retracement. So basically, I'm looking to have this, right? The opposite of a goose head like that. Look at that. What happens to the goose head? Go up, kind of like at the M pattern, and then further move to the opposite way. You see that? So when I invert it, I can start seeing for that W pattern. This pattern will depend on the volatility. So when I draw this, I'm not actually expecting to take that much time, right? I'm just giving it a guess, but I'll keep a close look, and just not to lose a sight of it, I always add my alerts, right? So when I start hitting alerts, I know to what to go to look for, and I already have my base idea, right? So Jupiter looking good. Not bad at all, but I believe that we could be having this sweep of the lows and a better entry position. If not, I do want to purchase Jupiter at the breakout retest, and off we go. We can look at where the main liquidity resides, right? Right there. The Jupiter could be playing out fantastic. So let me just measure that just for sake of seeing what would be my best case scenario, worst case scenario. That would be somewhere around worst case scenario, 22% no leverage. Man, that's good. At 10x, 220. Let's go. For my best case scenario, that will be 43% no leverage. For a 10x, that will be 139%. Man, that's good also, right? So let's just leave it like that, like is, and then we'll keep an eye on it till tomorrow, Friday, right? And finally, Jasmine. Jasmine, let's just take a glance because I've been talking for a long, long time here. And we're kind of like having kind of like the same story. But let me give you the hint. We already had the inverted goose head. What happened? The M-shaped thing. Breakthrough retest. Are we off for a treat? Are we there yet? I don't know. I think that we are, especially because we are above the zero line. I just need to see flip of the ribbon. In this case, you know what? I'm gonna be translating or going to my or translating from my Prime Accelerator Plus. What do I want to see on my Plus? Just a quick setup here. If you go to settings and you have the Plus version, let's give it a second. Let's go to input and let's turn on money mode. In order for money mode to work, you need to have where is it? Money flow turned on. All right. Let's now turn on money mode. What this is going to be doing is just isolating money flow. What do I want to see? A tipping action here. I'm already kind of like having it right? But it's not confirmed. So I want to see this. That will confirm a higher low on money flow. All right. And then, just because Alex is here on his honor, and I have not looked at this, but let's take a look at if I could have some VWAP, right? So far, I don't have any VWAP, but I could be having at the movement to my oscillator to the upside and the money flow push up, I could have a VWAP crossover, all right? So I could be looking for that one along with my money flow rush through. Another thing that I'll be looking at, and of course I need to give credit to Alex O'Cryptic because he discovered this. I'm going to be looking for clipping, something like this, all right? Clipping right here. And I'm getting close to clipping zones. How do I know? Because look at where I clip here. There we go. Look at where I clipped here, right? Where else? Look at where I clipped here, where I clipped here, right? As you can see, they are the same zones, and I am almost there. Maybe just slightly more to the downside on the clipping, right? Then watch the clip, watch further move to the money flow, entry on the next retracement. Off we go to dynamic reactor TP number 1. Let's hold it, move your stop to entry, breakout retest, and off we go to money flow POC. Especially because we're highly bullish in this one. That means that yes, we are gonna be rejecting from it. We are, right? Certainly. But since this is bullish, I believe that we could be coming back upwards and then smacking ourselves with a bearish one. Maybe weakening all the way here. Maybe. So I'll just get this with question marks. All right. So entry point, when I start seeing money flow rushing up, maybe looking for a crossover of my VWAP and also clipping right there. So that's what I got, Alex. Let me pass it over to you, my friend, and see what you got.
You're a superstar. That is what you are. Beautiful. Yeah, so right now, range bound again, bouncing off our first bottom that we were looking for right now on Bitcoin, looking for a continuation up. But like OC said, I would be careful here with getting long. You're gonna want confirmation. I mean, with this volatility, you need to be cautious. Okay, like if you look at, let's just look in general in how we can navigate these things, right? So you may want some bumper rails. Okay, so some of the bumper rails that I use on Chart Prime, right? Bumper rails. I don't know. Have you guys have all gone bowling? And they have those big floaty things on the side, so you can't go in the gutter. Okay, it's always important, right? So if you're looking at this, a good bumper rail, in my opinion, is going to be your beautiful. I mean, it is quite beautiful. This quantum band thing. Okay, you can make it pretty colors, okay, whatever you're into. Okay, let's make it green so you guys know what I'm talking about here. And you can see that it has acted as a bumper rail. Okay. Now, what happened when we got outside of the bumper rail? We came back into the lane, right? A very good tool, right? Bumper rail back into the lane. Okay. So it's one thing. So now look, hitting it again, right? So if you kind of deviate outside of this, I wouldn't just take that trade, but in confluence with this area that we gave you just now, value area low, right? If we get some sort of deviation and then bounce inside, you could possibly consider a long. We want to go off confirmation, right? You see here, you don't have really confirmation to short this. You have, point of control, a couple of things down here, but no real confirmation. Here you get, a close back inside, off you go, right? So that's a very good tool that you can use. Another good tool that I do like, where is it here? Is our, very simply your signals, okay? I have mine set on trendy 8, okay? G mode is off, everything else is on, okay? And for me, I like to watch a couple of things. I like to watch when I get reversal signals. They say, "Hey, dummy, pay attention." These are my "Hey, dummy, pay attentions." Okay, these ones are like, "Hello, make." Then I like to watch the check marks. Okay, the check marks are going to tell me when this move is exhausted. Okay, so you get a check mark here. Great. Okay, I can look to possibly take it the other way. Okay, reversal says, "Hey, dummy, pay attention." Could we get a higher low and break down now back into the bottom of the range? Absolutely. Technically, if we were to zoom out, now this is what's so important. You guys see that I'm on a short-term time frame. Okay, let's zoom out here. What can we also see? When we're on a higher term time frame, this is a good example. I had this morning. So we have a low, a high, a lower low, a higher high. Okay. Now, my rules are that I have to have 2 consecutive red candles to consider this next low a strong low. Okay. So I have to have 2 consecutive, right? If I do not have 2 consecutive, if this was only one candle, I couldn't count this as a low. It would be low and high. Okay. Now, if I go on a 2-hour time frame, look at this. So, because I'm on a 2-hour time frame, I have a low and a high. I know Pollo's getting off on this. He loves market structure. Okay. And I have a what? A lower low. Okay. So really, I'm in a downtrend. Okay. High, low, high, low, high, low, high, low. I am in a downtrend. Okay. So yes, I'm looking for a long here, but I am going against this trend. Okay. You see how it changes over time. So if I go here on a 12-hour time frame, right? I'm in an uptrend. Correct? Correct. right? So it's going to be relevant to what you're trading on, what you're looking to do. I always say this. Define what kind of trader you want to be. Do you want to be a swing trader, a scalper, an intraday trader, right? High or low continuation. Well, we'll see, right? We'll see. We're getting a buy signal. We're looking to push up to what? The liquidity of the high here. So we should be looking for a sweep here. And we should be looking for a sweep here first and foremost, right? Those should be our targets if we are still in this long. I have closed my long here. Happy days, 500 bucks. Done for the day. A nice $1,000 for the day. Woo, right? That's it. I don't have to trade anymore unless I have an A plus setup. You know, if I have a juicy, I've seen this before. Oh my God, easy money, I'll take it. But I don't have to, and that's the beauty of trading, right? You can wait and wait, and trading is waiting, right? So just keep that in mind. You can see here, 5-minute structure. We're in an uptrend, right? We have mitigated this low here or this high here. We are in this uptrend right here. We have not taken this low here. Okay, so we are still in a uptrend. So can we bounce, right? And you guys have my bounce levels that I am looking for. So if this, then that, if price comes into these areas in here, right? Okay, we're getting a little bounce, doji, buy up here. I would like to see something like this in continuation, or we come back down and then we bounce out of here, okay? So both of these levels interested in to trying to take price up to here, the targets, right? If we fail and we make a lower high and a lower low and we break that structure, then I'm looking to short this thing down to the ground. Okay, so always preparing, always forecasting, right? So as we're pushing up here and we put in this low, I'm pulling my fib, right? Oh, look, golden pocket in there. I'm putting on my order blocks. Oh, look, order block in here. 786 down here. VWAP here, fighting with VWAP, trying to hold it right now. Order block in here. Let's see if it bounces. We got our money flow point of control down in here. So multiple confluences. Maybe I want to raise this a little bit higher so I don't miss it in case it bounces out of here, right? Setting the trap. Always setting the big bear trap, right? We want the silly dumb bear to come in here, get trapped, and we have burgers for 2 years straight, right? That's very Canadian of me, but that's what we're looking for, right? Setting the trap, predicting, waiting, and then reacting to price. Okay, and hopefully we can help you develop that. But bumper rails, get your feet wet, manage your risk, be a successful trader. That's what we want.
Absolutely. We're right at the top of the hour, the bottom of the hour, sorry. Let's wrap it up. Alex, thank you so much for joining. Do you want to say goodbye before we end up the class?
Yeah, guys, have a wonderful day. Trade safe, use good risk management. See
And
you
don't
guys
use
tomorrow.
headphones.
And use headphones. Yeah.
Guys, thank you so much. And as always, see you guys tomorrow.